Hello and welcome to a demo of ZaroPGx. ZaroPGx is a personal pharmacogenomic analysis and reporting pipeline that you can run yourself. This page here is ZaroPGx running in the web deployment on my server. And while you can use this, I'm going to show you how you can get this program set up on your machine. So in order to do that, there is a simple one-command Bootstrap script that you can use, which we're going to go ahead and try right now on this fresh, brand new user account on my Windows 11 machine. So let's head on over to GitHub. Search for ZaroPGx, and it should come up. And from this page, we're going to scroll down to where it says Quick Start. Right, so from here, you would grab the command that's appropriate for your environment. And since we're on Windows here right now, we're going to grab the PowerShell command. Going to pop open a terminal. Doesn't need to be admin. Going to paste that command in and hit enter. Now, depending on which dependencies you may have already installed on your machine, this might take more or less time. But since right now we're on a fresh account, it's going to install WSL and the Docker engine and any dependencies that it might need. So now we're just going to give it some time to get Ubuntu configured under WSL. Alright, so just to make this a bit cleaner, we're going to put these side by side. Alright, now once it's ready, we're going to create a new username for the WSL Ubuntu. You just make it ZaroPGx, for instance. We're going to create a password as well. Alright, make sure you remember this password. Okay, and once it's finished, as it says right here in the Bootstrap script, we're going to type exit here, so exit out of the WSL prompt. Alright, we can also close this WSL menu here. And I'm just going to maximize this. And we're going to be putting in that password that we just created a handful of times here. Alright, one more time. One more time. Alright, enter your password again here. And one more time here. Alright. So now that Docker is installed, it's going to use the provided compose file and the environment flags or settings for the local deployment. So once this is running, you can use this from within your local network. Alright, so some of the containers that comprise the ZaroPGx pipeline are off the shelf, so these you can simply pull. The others you have to build yourself at this time. Once ZaroPGx is further along in its development, pre-built images will be provided. What this means is that the setup process will be lengthier, but there's nothing that you need to worry about if you're running this Bootstrap script, as it will do everything for you. So just give it some time to build all of the container images. Alright, depending on your hardware, this might be quicker or slower. So feel free to grab a cup of coffee or tea and wait for it to finish. Alright, here we are. So this setup has completed. And we're going to access the web interface by accessing this address here. So we're just going to control-click it. Now, some containers might be faster or slower to start depending on their setup needs. So in case any of these containers isn't ready, you're going to see a banner here on top, but in this case, everything looks good. Alright, so now let's run ZaroPGx. So, for the quick and easy, you can simply hit Run Demo here, and it'll run through the demo. Right now, I want to show a real-world next-gen sequencing data file run through this pipeline. So let's fetch one right now. Let's head on over to something like Personal Genome Project. Right, this is a decent resource, and we're gonna get some genetic data here. Alright, let's see. This one here has been known to work before, so let's choose one of these. Right. Any of these in VCF format should work well, but let's try to find something that's not super huge. I think this one, for instance, here should be fine. So let's download this VCF here. Just going to take a few seconds. Alright, and now that it's finished, we're going to go back to our local ZaroPGx right here. We're going to choose that file that we just downloaded. And before we start the process, we can actually just quickly check the header. Right, so here's some information about the data file itself, and here's some information about the workflow if we were to upload it, which we will do right now. So let's close this out. We're going to hit upload. And here we go. Now it's kicking off the pipeline. And we can check what it's doing by expanding the processing log. And we can scroll down and see the workflow that's laid out for this input file. Alright, hide that for now. We're going to let it run. This shouldn't take too long. If we made a mistake or we just want to cancel the pipeline, we could just hit this button here and it will clean everything up for us, but we're not going to do that now. And if you wanted to start over, we would cancel it and click on the home button. Now, these icons here, or these glyphs here, represent phases or portions of the pipeline. Some of these can be toggled on or off, depending on your needs. And the color that they are represents whether they've been completed, are currently running, are not part of the workflow, or have not been run yet. So we got upload, analysis, object type, which is typically disabled at this point, the GATK processing, PGX, we want to leave this enabled, FarmCat, and a report. You can toggle on and off the custom reports. Alright, and if you would like, you can switch it from light mode to dark mode. Personally, I prefer dark mode, so I'm just going to keep it in dark mode. And if we scroll down some more, we have some information here about ZaroPGx. So this here links you to the documentation. Alright. And this here takes you to the API reference. ZaroPGx can be run both through the graphic user, the web user interface, or through the API, although the API has not been tested extensively at this point. And there's some information here about the software that comprises the ZaroPGx pipeline. And you could read some more about this here. Okay, and we're gonna wait for the pipeline to finish now. It shouldn't take too long. And now we're nearing the end. So the workflow has finished. You can hide this. And here we are. We have our reports. So these first two here are the ZaroPGx custom reports. let's check out the PDF report first. Now, before we go any further, I just want to make it very clear that right now ZaroPGx is in the very earliest stages of development and should definitely not be used in any manner of consequence. However, with continued development, I think that these reports can be very useful. So let's see what information they contain. So first here we just have some basic boilerplate. Alright, and if we move on to the summary here, this shows the up to 23 core pharmacogenes that PharmCat provides recommendations for. And we could move on to the complete genetic results for the 90 or so total pharmacogenes that the pipeline can grab information for. Alright, and here's the drugs section. So this report would list each drug that has guidances available based on the given sample's genetic information. And these drugs are color-coded here by the highest actionability or the highest level of evidence recommendation for that drug. So, for instance, amitriptyline here has at least one guidance that is of the highest level of evidence, but it might have more than one of these other categories here. And we can click on it, and it'll take us to those guidances. And here they are. Okay, and we can go back, for instance, choose a different one, like citalopram, for instance. Here we go. And with this manner, you can check out guidances for any drug that has relevant guidances for the submitted sample. Okay. And there's going to be a lot. As you can see, there are many pages full of guidances. Right after the last guidance, and right now they're listed alphabetically, we have some more boilerplate type information about the software platform, a reproduction of the original header from the submitted sample, some citations, acknowledgements, and a workflow diagram. Okay, so, and of course you can print this report as well. The interactive HTML report is largely similar to the PDF report. It's a little easier to navigate and it's more interactive. Okay, and we have the first-party PharmCat outputs here as well, and you can download everything together conveniently as a compressed or zipped up archive, as here. Okay, and there you have it. That's the ZaroPGx pipeline in action. Please let me know what you think. I'm very happy to receive your input and feedback. Thank you so much for watching the ZaroPGx demo, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye.